Our days are going to Butos and the other tools are all over. Let me say welcome to the country to His Excellency Ambassador Dr. George Oponmanek Bagubese Kozi. Welcome back to the country. After 2 weeks of being absent from our country and on national international duties. Our social media guys are there right now at the airport. Go to NTV Liberia Live, you get all the best. Welcome to the show. It's on ERBC Radio. And I took the music break so the guys can be seated. But I think they said trying to, yeah. Come on, yeah. Hello? 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 Oh yes, welcome. Give the thing a volume, please. Give it a volume. Welcome to the show. It's on ERBC Radio. This time we'll be talking about another very important program in Liberia. It is the Global Entrepreneurship Week 2021. We have guests in the studio. One of the guys who I would love to talk to is Lawrence Yellow. You know, he's a very sound, man. And I've admired him for the years because we worked together when I was at the President of Liberia, and he had another program. I was complimenting the efforts of the Press Union, and he offers a lot of good suggestions. There are 3 in the studio right now. Mr. Lawrence Yellow the Stir is here along with Joseph Ashaw. Is that?
Yes.
And Mr. Shah Toto, and they also here. The last guest will be Asset Dunker. You will phone in later. But we're talking about the Global Entrepreneurship Week that starts in 2021. We're looking at all of those. But let me welcome the guests first in studio. Then we'll go to the specifics of our discussion. Lawrence, welcome.
Thanks, Jala. It's always a pleasure being here, and I just want to say hello to the Liberians out there. Yeah, we're looking forward to a very nice discussion.
Okay, so welcome. You're going to just go ahead and make it because I called him earlier.
Yeah. Good afternoon. I'm Sa Toto. I'm the founder and CEO of Bison Food Snacks.
Okay.
A local enterprise business that produces plantain chips with different flavors.
So some of the plantain chips I can buy on the boulevard here, are you making it?
Our only position and distributor in Basel.
Oh, okay. I'll come back to the Esau. Let's welcome my brother and friend. How are you welcome?
Thank you very much.
What is the name again? I call your name. I want you to call your name for the purpose of the audience.
Okay, so my name is Joseph Ashon. I work with WHH, and I'm here on behalf of the EU-funded project that is supporting the celebration of the Global Entrepreneurs Week.
Okay, yeah. So this project is a 5-day event that is hosted from the month 15th to the 20th.
Right.
So let me start with Yellow. You want to give us an overview of the entire project?
Absolutely. I mean, this project basically is Liberia, which is leading the project, but also being sponsored by a host of very good sponsors that have been here along with UNO for a while. I mean, you see one of the donors supporting partners in the room.
Okay.
But more so, the way this program works is basically, UNO has been developing agripreneurs over the years, and agripreneurs, for people who were just listening, are entrepreneurs that are basically social entrepreneurs that are working on agriculture based industry. Basically, how do they turn agricultural product into finished, but yet serve a market and serve the market better. And I think what UNO has been doing over the period is get business developers and the entrepreneurs in the room, talk about challenges, opportunities, talk about new markets, talk about the way in which farm to market is also being explored by entrepreneurs, and also how they can source opportunities as to whether it's funding opportunities, as to where it's learning opportunities through trainings and or networking, and how do we together, build an economy that is wheeling around entrepreneurship, but with emphasis on agripreneurship. And whilst we celebrate the Global Entrepreneur Week, the emphasis is to stress agripreneurship. We cannot be in a grain country, and we are doing a lot of things around agriculture, and then we want to get flag and not just flag it, but showcase, what's happening across the country, not just in Morovia. That's why you see my brother from Grand Bassa is here. And if you pay close attention to what's happening in Grand Bassa and what happening in other part of the country, agro businesses are getting productive, are getting very vocal in terms of how they are engaging the market, and to what extent we can keep talking about possibilities in this week. That of course, this conversation is just one of the many things that are happening on the course of this week. I think that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're trying to let the agripreneurs themselves come in the room, and we who are business developers and or Liberians that are focused on helping Liberians own businesses. That's why we are also here. But the biggest chunk of this is that Liberia is ours, and Liberians must get into agricultural business development, and not just agriculture alone, but other business. But today we are emphasizing agricultural businesses.
Okay, I will come to Mr. Joseph Ashon. He was speak last, but I want to hear from my brother from Gambasa, Mr. Shamtoto. So, what is your engagement in this whole business week, the Global Entrepreneurship Week that is going to take place this month? What is your involvement, and how do you involve other institutions? I mean, like businesses, bigger entrepreneurs in this country to get involved.
Yeah, we are a medium enterprise, and we are trying to develop on a large scale, and we have been working with smallholder farmers to get our raw materials to do our produce, and also we have been working along with youth that have been serving as sales agents, and we also distribute our produce to various entertainment centers in and around Buchanan, and we have also inspired a lot of young people in the agribusiness sector to do their own or replicate what we are doing as well, and it has been going well, and we are also like providing income for smallholder farmers by buying the produce. We are also like
You are buying that produce.
yeah.
You buy that produce. What do you do with the produce when you buy it?
Oh, I'm talking about the produce. I'm talking about the planting that the harvest.
Okay, the money harvest.
Yeah.
So you transform it in finishing products.
Exactly.
Okay.
Our value, and we do that with tea flavor using our traditional taste. We use the Benensi. We have the Benensi package flavor, and we have the pepper package flavor and the ginger package flavor. Yeah. Exactly.
You produce them, and who do you sell it to? You sell it to the locals, or you place it in supermarkets in Grand Bassa where people come and buy?
We are like 1 year of establishment, and we have been working along with beach. We send our produce to the Atlantic Beach and a lot of entertainment center around Bassa. We send those to some schools for the school students, and basically we have been working with the NASA supermarket, but it's not like on a large page, but simultaneously.
Yeah, so you go to the villages. You go to the villages in Grand Bassa, for example, because the last time I checked, there was a program in Grand Bassa. It was a festival where the people brought their produce from the villages. They brought it. It was a very big festival where people bought plantains. They bought it when they brought their materials, and they were purchased by some people from Morovia. So how does that kind of thing fit into this global entrepreneur week in Grand Bassa?
It's a good networking event, and it helps to connect marketers or farmers and entrepreneurs, and it also helps to link market or let's put it in the way that it showcases the farmers that are doing or that are producing on a large scale, and it also showcases entrepreneurs that are willing to buy their product as well.
Okay, restate that again.
Actually,
Please restate that.
it serves as a networking event that showcase farmers linked with the smallholder farmers and the entrepreneur as well.
Okay. So let me come now to Mr. Joseph Ashon.
Yes, sir.
Which organization do you come from?
WHH.
WHH.
Yes.
Or what? How do I call it?
World Hunger.
World Hunger.
Yeah.
So, what is the World Hunger's participation in this Global Week of Entrepreneurship? What are your roles?
Okay. So I'll bring it back. So World Hunger or WHH is one of the 3 international NGOs that are implementing an EU-funded project. We call it Partners Program. And so what the Partners Program basically does is that we support small farmer holders for them to increase productivity, increase crop yield. And we target 5 crops: cassava, plantain, cowpea, pineapple, and granite. And so, like my first colleague said, Liberia is green. You increase production, and then what? You cannot feed the population just by increasing production. You need to move it from the farm to the next level, and then it comes to the supermarket or it comes to your table. And so part of the package that the program or the project does is have a platform for young entrepreneurs or even existing institutions in Liberia which are into agriculture. We support them to be able to buy the produce from the farmers, like my colleague from Berzon is saying. So Berzon, for instance, is one of the entrepreneurs who we gave the opportunity to show and come up with a proposal that this is how I'm going to be able to add value to plantain from the farmers we are supporting. And so, in summary, what WHH does, WHH and then ZOA and then Concern, funded by the European Union, that project, what that project does is to provide a platform for people like from institutions like Berzon and others to be able to be part of the agric value chain. And just to expand a little bit, there is a lot of portions and parts, a role that everybody can play when it comes to the agriculture. So let's take Gari, for example, as a produce. When you see Gari, it's from cassava, right?
Of course.
A farmer has to produce it, right? And then it has to be processed into another form. Then it becomes Gari and it's packaged, and you see it in one of the supermarkets. So this chain, the farmer is there. We need somebody to have a good idea how to process it, how to package it nicely so that you buy it. We have Super Gari.
Super Gari, I've not seen Super Gari for a long time.
Right. So they add other things to it to make it the Super Gari. Berzon is doing plantain chips. He just told you that they have different flavors. So the plantain is produced by the farmer, and he's done his part. Somebody needs to add values to it, move it, transport it, bring it to him. He will add value to it. So that chain, that's what we are asking this global entrepreneurs week. The point, this noise or the information we are doing, the education is for people to not see agriculture as like you see the farmer doing cutlass and hoe. There's an opportunity for our young people, especially those who can think, use technology to add value, play a role. And this is one of the essence of this week, just to bring in, like my colleague said, it's around agriculture. There are other sectors, but it's around agriculture because agriculture is the bane of Liberia's economy. All of us can play a role. You, as the people in the media, this that we are doing, your role is to give us the platform to talk about it. Students and engineers' role could be how do you develop a tool to, for instance, process pineapple from the farm. So that's the whole idea. When we say entrepreneur, somebody who can think and bring about changes to the benefit of our people. And that is why the EU is funding the project I'm running, which is the Patents Program. and then the other our colleague will be on the phone.
Yeah, I try. If you're listening to us, I can call him.
Yeah.
We're taking, but go ahead.
Yeah. So he works with the Cassava Transformation Project, which is also funded by the EU. The same concept. Cassava is a huge produce in Liberia. So the question is, how do you transform cassava just from production to gari to other things? How do you make sure that the small farmer holder who produces can also get opportunity? Somebody can add value to it, not just to be sold in Liberia, but outside. We do starch. Starch from cassava. So, for instance, we are asking people to think outside the box, and not see when they say cassava, you just see, excuse me to say, somebody in the farm using cutlass, but what can you do to it? And then you link it, and then we have a whole value chain, and then you have a better impact. So that is the essence of having an entrepreneurial spirit. Think outside the box, add value from where you come from, right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, I will listen to the next call, the next guest, but I want to ask Mr. Yelu, because the Entrepreneurship for Improving Food and Nutrition Security in Liberia is a 2-day event. And should provide an interactive space where program activities will be showcased. They're probably made to be aware of the importance of and availability of opportunities. Now, you are showcasing Bearson, for example. How do you showcase this in other parts of Liberia? Because Bearson, for example, is not the only county. Right. Lofa County is known as a breadbasket for Liberia, has been known before. It produces that agricultural produce, cassava, rice, plantain, edibles. Right. And he talked about cassava, plantain being produced into other plantain chips. Right. Where you have also the other chips too. Right. So how do you involve other counties?
I think the first thing I want to first say the significance of localizing global event. And most of the time people think that Liberia, we're just getting global events, this program to localize it. We tend to bring the entrepreneurship and saying we are improving food and nutrition security. Now, we have to understand that we are not just eating because we want to eat as a people. We want to eat right. We want to make sure that the nutrients that we take, they are making us to have sound mind, healthy body, and that we are able to be productive as citizens. So whilst the entrepreneurs are thinking and trying to find new ways of doing these things and trying to add value to the raw material and translate them into, say, chips, say, other value chains, maybe just a short bar, but it's an energy bar, right? How do we make sure that the essence of this 2-day event is localizing the global 5 days event? To what extent can we make sure that these entrepreneurs we're not emphasizing just for Grandmaster, for example. Okay. We are saying Liberia. We are saying agripreneurs that are cutting across. And one of the reasons why we are engaging the media is that there are a lot of agripreneurs that are listening, or there are a lot of students that are listening that can also get into the agriculture field. And when they are getting there, we are trying to provide the stage a better opportunity so that they understand that, look, I'm not going to this thing because I want to just get hoes, get cutlass, get cassava, get the tubers, and then maybe face GB, Dumbo, and that's where it ends. No. How do we make sure that we are thinking that, because what entrepreneurs do for the most part is solving social problems. So they are really solving social problems. Nutrition, malnourished issue is a social problem. How are we facing some plantain or cassava, flour, for kids, to not get malnourished? What are we doing there? So these agripreneurs, this is an opportunity for many Liberians to network, and not just networking, but get motivated by young men like this that is already working and is already, the product is on the market, and there are other agripreneurs and agro products that are on the market. How do we make sure as a country that we, last time I was speaking to many young people, I said, look, we need to get away from this NGO thing and move to the entrepreneurial base. It is good to get our young people having heart for the society to solve societal problems, but you can take that same heart into agro businesses and or into other entrepreneurship. But what we are emphasizing this week is we want to improve food and nutrition security. Make sure that food security becomes an issue so that we are not, the weight is not on central government or on local government, but we, the citizens, are being innovative enough, are engaging our smallholder farmers, and say, look, I've gone to school, I've spent 4 years, or I haven't gone to school at all, but I can think, because most of the things we are doing in this country, we are sometimes pushing people to go to school, which is good, but this person is an entrepreneur, born entrepreneur. How do we provide the opportunity? And this is the platform that provides that opportunity. And Jala, when you said, oh, how does it go across? How does it go to LOFA? This is one channel that is going to LOFA.
Okay.
Because we've been on this platform before, and people have asked a lot of questions from across the country, and we responded to them. But what we're doing today is, how do we push more for improving food and nutrition security through agripreneurs that are producing a lot of products, and how these products are there. So what we're trying to do is encourage those that are just frying the plenty chips, to properly package and move from just frying things on the street to going to a proper business. What that does for our country, you can see that taxes go to government. You can see that employment opportunities will be there for other people.
Absolutely.
And a lot of things will be happening because you'll find out that it has a ripple impact on our economy. So how do we push more and more farmers to not just be smallholders? Whilst we're helping the smallholders, giving them income, they are paying their children's school fees, and others, we are saying food security, let's improve it. Let's improve the nutritional aspect. And this will help most of these young people and most people that are listening to say, okay, let them ask some questions about how do you do this? Then we are saying there's an opportunity. Come and engage. There's an opportunity. Let's talk about this. And that's why I like the partnership program a lot, because the partnership program pushes more for a better understanding of where farmers should be, what challenges that they are having, where can they go to solve some of those problems. And sometimes the problem, Jala, is not coming Morovia to solve the problem if you are out of the problem. The solution is right there. But how do you fetch the solution? Trainings can help you find
I'll just have to ask you the same question to you. How do you?
Yeah, training can help you solve it and help you identify that, look, these opportunities are right here.
And who are you training?
Agripreneurs, young people. Some of them that when they come, they just bring ideas, right? And what Junior does and what the partnership program does as a whole is encourage young people to see, what is within their reach. How can this, turn these things around, that they are solving nutrition problem. And once we are solving nutrition problem, they will be getting money. And whilst they are getting money, they are paying other people. While they are paying other people, they are paying taxes. While they are paying taxes, those money that go to the other family, paying school fees, going to the market, buying other food, you see that it has a very good impact on our society. So some of these programs that come true, right, is to help our country move from one stage of dependency to a very stronger stage of agriculture, especially agripreneurs, and expanding that landscape.
I'm just wondering, also, how do you disabuse the minds of the young people who should be involved in entrepreneurship, who are not being so overburdened by politics? Because politics is a way of life in Liberia. Everybody wants to be a politician to be heard, XYZ. How do you disabuse the minds of the young people, especially those from the urban areas?
Absolutely, Jala. And one of the reasons why we are bringing young people also as testimonial to what is happening in our agripreneur space. This young man is speaking here. He may speak slowly, but he's a very good representation of a motivation for young people that want to be in politics to say, hey, stop, take a reflection. There is a young man that is like you, or even younger than you, that is doing this, and there's an opportunity for you to do that. And guess what, Jala? Most of these young people have people they got big farmland in Liberia, but everybody in Morovia. So one thing I can tell them is, whilst politics is good to run the space in Liberia, one thing that we should always encourage our young people.
So let it call it now. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing we can also do is
I just hold the line. I want for your colleagues to end, so I will take it. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, hold the line, please. Go ahead.
Okay,
Mr.
so what I was trying to say, so that I wrap up quickly so he speak, is that we want to encourage young people. Whilst you spend more time reading politics, you need to think about solving your societal problem. And one of the best way to solve societal problem is becoming an entrepreneur. But what we are encouraging you to become much more is to become an agripreneur in a country that is evergreen, in a country that has a lot of land mass, and in a country that you can use smaller space and the soil is very rich. How do we help smallholder farmers that you don't need to be the one farming? There are people farming already.
Mhm.
How do you help them so that they become your supplier for the product that you've thought about?
Mhm.
So one thing that we can do is Library is here, and other projects are here. Move to those spaces and ask for the requisite help, and you will get the requisite help. And this is a motivation. When you see young men like this, you see young ladies across the country
Mhm.
trying to change the narrative. And the better narrative that we can bring to the table now is there are evidences that we can prove that it is working.
Okay.
And people need to join the campaign. Don't wait until they say, "Oh, if I knew, I would have started."
I want to come back to you on the evidences that you think it is working.
Absolutely.
Let me talk to your next panelist. He's on the line. Please introduce yourself and tell us what is your involvement in this whole activity we're talking about.